Hey, what's up, everyone? Just back with another video. So, I just want to react to another video. Pierre Poilievre, he was just at a rally. I believe this was in Nova Scotia. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong as to where exactly it was, but he was talking about just building homes and housing affordability here in Canada. So let's just have a look at this video. Then we'll react to it and talk about it after.
So in addition to axing the tax, we're going to build the homes. Right now, we have the second slowest building permits of any country in the OECD, even though we have the most land to build on. We spend a larger share of our economy on home building than any other country in the OECD. In fact, twice as much as they do in the United States to build the smallest number of homes. Why? Because of the bureaucracy that you have to fight your way through in order to get a building permit. The biggest single cost added to building a home in Canada is not land, labor, or lumber. It is bureaucracy. 60% of a new home cost in Vancouver is permits, consultants,
60%.
development charges, taxes, lawyers, all the people who do nothing productive to actually build the home. And yet they take up the lion's share of the cost of the new home. So common sense conservatives are going to require municipalities speed up, lower the cost of building permits, and free up land to build as a condition of getting federal money. I will require cities permit 15% more housing completions. If they hit that target, they'll keep their money. They beat the target, they'll get a bonus. They miss the target, they'll pay a fine.
Good idea.
Realtors are paid for the number of houses they sell. Builders for the number they build. Let's pay our municipalities their federal infrastructure money for the number of homes they permit. Pay for results to build the homes. We're going to sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build. And you know something? It warms my heart to think of a beautiful family pulling up in their U-Haul to move into their wonderful new home in the former headquarters of the CBC.
Great point. Now, you see, that's why a lot of people are really, changing their mind and just leaving the Liberal Party and just going over to Pierre Poilievre because those are some good ideas. People always say he doesn't have a plan for anything. He doesn't have a plan for anything. Well, that's a good plan. 6,000 federal buildings that are not being used, fix them up, and then rent them. And hopefully, and this is the big part, hopefully at a cheaper cost. Right? When he talks about building and faster permits and cheaper fees, and we're gonna speed up the whole process, that's great. But build smaller family homes like starter homes. Build cheap condos that someone can buy a bachelor or even like a 1 or 2 bedroom, but you just make it basic so they can get it for $75,000 to $100,000. You can build cheap townhomes. You know what I mean? Like I hope that's the plan because we do need not just more homes, but we need them to be affordable. So you can do that by building smaller homes. I'm even a fan of the tiny home concept to a point. Right? I don't think those should be your forever homes unless you want it to be. But if you're just starting out, you're a young couple, or if you're just maybe struggling a little bit, you can probably sell those things for like 25, $30,000. And at least you got something. At least you got a little bit of property. It's not much, but it's a start. Gives you a little hope, which I've talked about many times on this channel. You need hope. So, I'm a big fan of that, but he hasn't really talked about that at all. He's talked about affordability, but I'm just hoping that he's not going to build a bunch of mansions or, fix up these federal buildings to a point where it's like, okay, each unit is now $200,000. Like if one of them's a condo building, it's like, okay, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 for like a 1 bedroom or a bachelor or a studio apart, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's just too much. 75 to $100,000, especially here in Hamilton. You don't need to build anything fancy. People just want something decent, and I think that's a fair argument. Now, is he going to be able to get things done faster and speed things up so that when he does get in office, we can really see some changes? Well, I hope so because it's going to be at least what, a year and a half, roughly a year and a half before he gets in, probably. Unless a miracle happens and we get an election, which I don't think is happening, it's going to take a long time for him to get in, and then probably another couple years to really make a dent in Trudeau's mess. So, again, I'm starting to get a little bit hopeful. I'm not too hopeful yet, but I'm hoping that this guy not only does what he says he's going to do, but also truly does make it affordable. If you're coming out of high school or you're working full time, you want to be able to save money so that you can put a 5, 10, not 5%, that's too low, but 10 or 20% down payment in a few years on a condo. And you can do that if there's 75,000. It's very reachable. So, let's see what he does. Let's hope for the best. Let me know what you think in the comments of what his plans are, what you think how good you think his plans are for the future of home building and home ownership in Canada. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you indifferent? Do you have a better idea? I'd love to hear in the comments section. Thanks again so much for watching, guys, and I'll be back shortly with another video.